Hey, what's up, all you action figure lovers out there? Master Marvel's back at it once again, bringing you another episode of Toy Talk. Alright, before I get into this video, let me make this disclaimer real quick that this video is for adult collectors only. This video is not for kids. So, what I'm wanting to do here on Toy Talk tonight is definitely different. It's always different, but I'm kind of in the middle of a toy room remodel right now, so I got shit all over the place, man. Gutted all my comic books out and everything. Graphic novels, little trinket, just pretty much basically what I'm doing because I need the space. I just added a brand new shelf in here and it's huge. I'm trying to make this pretty much an action figure only room, so it's pretty tough because I do have like all these little cubbies here that are full. So I mean, I'm gonna gut all this, which is gonna give me eventually like, I'm gonna have like 9 or 10 new shelves available, so that should help a lot. Because man, I still got so much stuff to go through. But I still don't have room for everything, of course. I'm not going to have room for everything, at least not yet. One of the things I'm wanting to do is just talk about some of the action figures, Marvel Legends and stuff that I have that aren't being shelved. That, I mean, at one point in time or another in their life, they may have seen the shelf and been in the definitive figure until it was replaced. And some of them didn't even make it to the shelf because the previous versions to me was already better, or not so much better, but just preferable. So yeah, I'm just wanting to go through this tote, let them circulate, get some airtime before they're, you know, packed back up and stored somewhere until I do have somewhere to display them. And yeah, it sucks because some of these are really good, man, and you know, we got Toy Biz stuff, and yeah, I wish I could get it all displayed. But one of the first things I'm gonna pull out, you know, because we just recently went through all these. These are brand new even this year, and they're already thrown in a tote. So it's kind of a bummer because this is a really good set too, the Fantastic Four. Man, I did that fucking hot water trick to her leg, and it just keeps wanting to go back. We got our Human Torch. So, yeah, these being brand new figs, and they're already stored away. This too. This is the Walgreens exclusive Human Torch right here, but I pretty much got me a powered down version using the old, the original Reed Richards body, and just put this head on that body. So we've got, you know, powered down Johnny. Otherwise, you know, so yeah, these are all brand new, really, figures, and they're stored away. So, but yeah, I've still got tons of stuff in here. So we've seen these all. Let's just kind of move on from here. Oh, on the subject of Fantastic Four, pull some of these out. This is one of our previous things. I think I might have pulled these out for comparisons in previous reviews, but this was my definitive one. I'm so glad I replaced it because he's just so tiny, man. We got this one here, which is from the early Toy Biz Riders Waves. He's got a little vehicle. I have it stored away somewhere. But it wasn't a bad looking thing, but it's more of a first appearance look for him. I don't know. It was a good job. I mean, the shading was decent, and it does look, I mean, I do have enough of these figures, these first appearances, to make a pretty good shelf of them, but I've got to have the room for it. This was early Hasbro. I think this was the Blob series. No. It might have been. Maybe it was the Ronin Build-A-Figure Wave. I can't quite remember, but this was a pretty cool Human Torch that rocked my shelves for many years before he was finally replaced. Let's see. So yeah, I really like that one. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, I forgot the accessory for her. I know I got more Fantastic Four stuff in here. Oh, yeah, there's another one. Yikes, that's a crap. I'm getting to it, so bear with me, sorry. Got something to look at for a second. Where the fuck is all my shit? This is crazy. And now I'm just mixing stuff up here, trying to find, because I know I have another Human Torch in here somewhere. Son of a bitch. Hey, did I find it? Yes. This is Toy Biz, and I want to say this. I think this is a Marvel Legend version, but it was a reuse from the early days, like Spider-Man Origins or whatever, because it's just really bad even for Toy Biz standards. It was kind of bad, you know, when they were doing Marvel Legends, but it's cool. It's back to that kind of first appearance look for him. So it's pretty cool. Here I got some shitty figures here. Might have more of them, I don't know. Well, so here's a Mr. Fantastic, and this was Hasbro, but they pulled a reuse of somebody's body on this. Can't remember who, but Mr. Fantastic, and his shoulder was broke on me, so had to fucking do something to it. I don't even think I glued it. I think I just used ticky tack in there. It's just more of a temporary fix for things, because when it comes to joints, I usually don't like to glue, because later on I might actually get a good Dremel kit or something and actually really fix it. Here's another Mr. Fantastic. I don't remember what this came from. I got this loose. It was actually sent to me free from like Listier or something like that several years ago. So, but yeah, he was on the shelf himself for a while. Then I never did have an Invisible Woman for the longest time, so I took the what is it? Oh, that Carter, not Peggy Carter, but Shield Agent one. I took one of those, an extra one, and it's bad. It's been a lot of paint's chipped off of it over the years, being stored or whatever. But that was my Invisible Woman there for a while. You gotta do what you gotta do, to fill the spots. And then I have, let me wipe these out for fuck 'em. Old Toy Biz Dr. Doom here. This is the one with the removable faceplate. I mean, it was okay. It was really cool for the longest time. We finally got a Dr. Doom that trumped the hell out of this. So, yeah. Now this dude, this guy like stood on my shelves for the longest time. This is the Dr. Doom. So yeah. Really still happy to have this. I got this loose somewhere. Never could find this figure. But, yep. He's definitely going to have a spot somewhere on shelf somewhere. Here we got the She-Hulk that came from the Blob wave. I think that's what it was. Blob or Brood Queen, one of the two. It was my first She-Hulk. So she stayed for the longest time. The only She-Hulk. And then we got that A-Force pack. So she was replaced by this She-Hulk. Same deal there. Peg broke on her foot. Might be able to see that blue ticky-tack right up in there. Yeah. Broke, so I just jammed some ticky-tack in there. Fucking sucks. I have so many figures that break all the time, but this is actually a really good She-Hulk. But of course our new one that we just recently got, the grayish one, she's badass though. Yeah, she's my new definitive She-Hulk on the shelf. While we're on the subject of Hulks, I'll talk about this piece of shit that was my definitive Hulk for the longest time, man. Yeah, this one was cool. It was that Valkyrie 2-pack. Him and Valkyrie. So, I don't know. I still like this. There's something about it, but it is shitty. I don't know. I still have love for this Hulk, though. Why? Don't ask. Another Hulk here. We got the first appearance Hulk. The gray version. I had the green one. I don't know what the hell happened to it, and I had an extra gray one, which was done for a really horrible custom job when I did this red Hulk. So, yeah. This one I don't mind. They still need shelf life, man. It sucks that all these years I was looking at them and now I don't see them anymore. It'd be nice to put them all back on the shelf and be able to see them for, you know, the entirety of all the Marvel Legends that I have. Here's another Hulk. This was the Face-Off Hulk, which should have been my definitive, and because this was everybody's favorite Hulk, and while I liked it, at the same time I hated it because, for one, he didn't make fists, and that pissed me off. And if he had an ab crunch on him, this would have been an amazing figure to me. But otherwise, yeah, I like the size of it and everything, and the sculpted details and all that are really cool about it. But he just still wasn't for me. But our new 80-year Hulk is definitely the Hulk that's on the shelf now, making these guys look bad. Alright, so who else do I have here? This was one that just recently got replaced. This one was a long time shelf holder. The Demo Goblin. This was Toy Biz. Spider-Man Origins style. It was a really good figure. Really detailed. So, I mean, it's things like this that, like, all my Toy Biz stuff needs to be on display because it's the pioneer work, it's the groundwork of Marvel Legends. There's a lot of art there and love that was put into a lot of these. So, you know, we don't want to keep them all boxed up somewhere. That's just not right. It's not right, man. Here's one that was recently replaced. But I mean, I would like to do like an Ultimate shelf. So this Vulture here, maybe switch out the head with the other one that came with it, and make an Ultimate shelf with the Beetle, and we got the Goblin, the Ultimate Green Goblin. We've got Hobgoblin from the Ultimates, Taskmaster. So yeah, there's quite a few figures that we could bust out and make an Ultimates display. So it might be a small one, but still, that guy's got to get some airtime still, right? Shit, let's do some Thors. I mean, I'm sure the weapons are in here somewhere. I'll just have to keep digging to find them, but well, he's got his hammer attached to his hips, so I guess it's really the sword he's missing. It's in there somewhere. Yeah, hammer's just hanging there. This Thor wasn't bad. This was, I mean, it was kind of a an upgrade, or I guess they considered an upgrade to the Return of Marvel Legends Thor that we got. He's got the little flap back there. Of course, he doesn't have armored arms, so I mean it's a little different. I don't know. It was okay, but I never really cared for it. Didn't really have to have this because, I mean, forever, the Return of Marvel Legends Thor was my definitive Thor on the shelf for a long time. Now our 80 years bumped it because it's perfect. So there's a Thor. Here's a Thor. And like I said, weapons are in here somewhere. You just don't want to see me out of focus digging forever for these damn things. This was dark days of Hasbro, probably Blobber, Brood Queen, one of them. He came with an axe, hammer, a weathered hammer, and honestly, this is one of my favorite versions of Thor. One of them. I love this look for Thor. I would love for Hasbro to revisit this Thor actually and make another one like this. That would be spectacular, really. I mean, I could see, why not? Why not do this? Please do this, Hasbro. Because this Thor, no shit, is actually what got me back into collecting period. Definitely Marvel Legends, because I had stopped collecting for several years, and it was around 2007, I think. I was out and about. I was in a Walmart, and I come across, this was like right on the end pegs, and I seen this Thor, it caught my eye, and I'm like, I remembered it, and I was like, man, I gotta fucking get that Thor. And I picked it up, I started kind of looking at the other figures, I was like, man, you know what, and I hadn't collected Marvel Legends prior to that. I had all the older Toy Biz and stuff that I have has been stuff that I've gotten since then and had to go back and find. So this was day one for me right here, this Thor. I had to have it. So then I seen the Build-A-Figure thing and went all out, and I've been collecting ever since. So really wow me again. And it's a terrible figure, but just the fact that they made this Thor particular into a figure is what really astonished me. So yeah, wow me again though, Hasbro, and do this guy again for me. That'd be great. Alright, who do I have? I'm going to have to jump around here, but here's the Kingpin that came from the face-off with the Daredevil. He's in there somewhere. Matter of fact, he's right here. So this was and this Daredevil, I can't remember. He had some shelf time for a while. Because I don't think I had another, it was a while before I got another good Daredevil. But Kingpin, obviously, until our Build-A-Figure came out, this was the only version we had. So he lasted a long time on the shelf. But yeah, this Daredevil, he's okay. I don't know. It's clunky looking. The shoulders are all fucking weird looking. His stance and everything. But it was loaded with articulation. Way more than this was. So, yeah. Still a good one to have, I guess. It's our classic version of Daredevil, and it's from a toy company that no longer exists. So there you go. It's got to have something to it. Let's go with. Let's save the shit for last. We'll go with this Ghost Rider, I guess. This was also Return of Marvel Legends. This I mean, there was two versions. This was a variant to the other version with the orange flames or whatever. I just thought this was a really cool look. I'd never really seen Ghost Rider like this in the comics because I stopped reading those too. But yeah, I thought, yeah, that's cool. I gotta get that. So he rocked the shelf for a while. Like I said, man, I gotta find a way to get these guys back because I want to be able to look at them again. And when people walk into my room, and it's already like, it's amazing walking into my room because there's already so much stuff, but I want more of it to wow people. Like, oh my God, you got like, look at all those Ghost Riders, you know? Shit like that. So, like I said, I'm skipping around here a little bit. This was probably my favorite Captain America for a while. because I didn't have any of the earlier Toy Biz stuff. This Ultimate Captain America I thought was pretty badass. I was sorry to see him go. But he did get replaced. Like kind of earlier on, he got replaced. I think it was from like a 3-pack or a 4-pack. Which I'll eventually dig him out. Fuck. See if I can find him real quick, because we are making a pretty big dent in this tote here. Ah, here he is. Yeah, this ended up being my Ultimate Captain America. Until, like, I think it was the Onslaught wave, the Red Onslaught wave with Red Skull. That Wolf Cap, when they did it, he kind of had to go because he's a little bit bigger. He kind of towered over this Captain America. But this was a cool look for me. I like this cap. And, yeah, I'd like to do a whole shelf of just Captain Americas, because this one was it was okay, man. I really liked it. But now, of course, our 80-year Captain America, how will it ever be replaced? Will it ever be replaced? How are they going to outdo themselves on that? Shit, I can't do him yet. I gotta find his fucking arm hiding in there somewhere. I'll do this one here. This is the, I guess this would be considered the first appearance cap. And this was Broodwave, I believe. It was kind of dark days of Hasbro as well. But it was cool. I liked it. This was my first Captain America that I had. Marvel Legends style. And I was never okay with it. Never really impressed. But, you know, I had to do what I had to do. And fill the shoes of Captain America with this guy for a while. So, yeah, that sucked. Oh, crap. Trying to see if I can find this dude's arm. This is another case of fucking broken toy. Goddamn broken fucking toys. Oh, I can do him. And oh, I just saw that bastard. There's the arm. That's good. Come on, let that one go. Oh, there he is. I see your legs. Okay. Well, I got everybody out that I want to do. At least for this segment right here. More Ticky Tack. And that's old Ticky Tack, and it's still holding, but it doesn't really hold. Now this figure came out after the 3/4 inch Marvel Universe figures did, and it was the Colonel Steve Rogers figure, and that one to me was so much better. I love the head sculpt of that one so much better than this, and it was like my favorite Captain America figure, like almost of all time. And then we got him in 6-inch form, and I just wasn't impressed with that head on it. But, you know, still we had our Colonel Steve Rogers here. So, he was the man on the shelf for a while. Like, I think even after he broke, he still held his ground for a while. These old Return of Marvel Legend figures, you know. Like Captain America went through some serious changes over the years, didn't he? And then we got... This was like one of the figures that changed it all. And Marvel Legends for Hasbro was the actual Bucky Cap figure here. You know, a mold that they're still using today. So yeah, I love this. I always loved this figure. I mean, I really did. This was my favorite. Even before everybody started swinging off the nuts of the sculpt itself, the Buck. Like, this figure... I loved it. Absolutely 100% loved it. It was my favorite figure for the longest time. I played with it a lot. He had a lot of good action to him. A lot of good poses. Came with the, you know, the knife, the gun, the shield, of course. So yeah, this was a really cool figure right here. And yeah, he definitely needs a spot somewhere on the shelf. While we're talking about that one, we might as well talk about, I think this was the Blobber Brood wave as well. And this Bucky himself, which it's a horrible figure, I'm not gonna lie. It's crappy. But I mean, when it comes to classic Bucky's, I don't think we've ever had an action figure of it before. So this was like our first Bucky. And yeah, it was cool. I was happy as hell to have this thing, man. Yeah. And yeah, I might have to make a part 2 of this video because I still got quite a bit of stuff over here in this tote, man. Yeah. Because, you know, I'm not just like showing you shit. I'm fucking, you know, yapping and shit while I'm doing it. So, I'll try to keep going. I hear that my kid's up in there, so I guess I can go as long as before he starts wigging out on me. I love this Bucky cat, man. This should definitely be like a holy grail when it comes to Marvel Legends. You have to have this figure. It's like a monumental character to have. Let's talk Venom, I guess, real quick. This was like the shiznit. This was the coolest Venom, I think. And it's kind of like that McFarlane style Venom. He was rocking my shelves for a long time. He's got some really loose joints now. Oh, fuck. But yeah, he was pretty badass. He's beefy as hell. I didn't really care for that little thing back there because it doesn't really do shit. It's supposed to move that mouth, but I mean, it doesn't fucking hardly do shit. But it is a cool sculpt. Great paint job on it. Got some... And this was originally, I believe this was a Toy Biz figure, but when I bought this, it had the Hasbro name on it by then. They re-released it in, I guess, another like Spider-Man Origins line that they had going. So, but yeah, it was cool. And right about the time I got this figure, it was when I really started seeing a lot of anti-Venom in the comics and stuff. So I went out and bought this figure again so I could make my own anti-Venom. And he rocked my shelves for a long time until we got our new anti-Venom. I resisted the urge of buying the Marvel Select to replace this and waited for the Marvel Legends version, but this wasn't too shabby, considering I think I literally only used like a Sharpie and whiteout to make the fucking thing. Yeah. So, while I'm on the subject of McFarlane, here's the McFarlane Spider-Man, which I think the Spider-Man was the same deal. Like, this is actually, if you look at it and you find the printing on it, it'll say Hasbro on this, because this was a re-released version of it. Pretty sure it'll say that on here. Let me look at it real quick. Marvel. And yep, 2006 or 2000, could be 2008 Hasbro. So yeah, this is Hasbro, which is not bad. I mean, for Hasbro remaking this, they did a really good job on it because it still holds true. It's very durable and everything, and well articulated. And I even like the darkness, the density of the costume. It's actually not black. It's a really, really dark blue. So yeah, but again, this guy needs dipped in some freaking floor finish shit right here because he's really, really loose. What other Spider-Mans do I have? There's one. There's a Spider-Man villain. That doesn't help yet. Alright, well, I still have this. This actually was a Toy Biz fig here. This was, I believe, titled on the package, First Appearance Spider-Man. He's got that, boy, that net has seen better days, let me tell you. Oof. It's like all but breaking here. So I gotta be careful with it. Shit, it's hooked on the thumb. Yeah, it's been stretched out and everything. I didn't care for this figure mainly because it just has really wonky fucking hip joints and stuff. It was really hard to get him to stand. But that was First Appearance Spider-Man by Toy Biz. Let's do, look at him standing. This one was cool. This is also, it was originally a Toy Biz figure but re-released by Hasbro. And the same deal with those Spider-Man Origins figs. Or classics, or I don't remember what it was. Got Carnage here. And he wasn't bad. This was not a bad Carnage. Not at all. But I mean, come on, man. Our new fucking Carnage. Yikes. He's super dope. So, crappy little Carnage now. Uh-oh. Kid's not sounding happy. Oh, I forgot. Of course, we've got the famous now, big time letdown Spider-Man from early Return of Marvel Legends. You fucking dork face, get out of here. Yeah, it was blah. Really crappy attempt on a Spider-Man buck with this one right here. I don't know what they were thinking. They really, this was a bad choice. It was never a good figure at all. I just got this. It just got my attention because I bought it brand new, way before he was famous. Just to make that clear, you know, this wasn't no fanboy shit. I literally picked this guy up because I was attracted to the whole green over black concept. I mean, I just thought that was a cool design. I didn't pay much attention to how horrible it was over the years, but you know, the new upgrade on this character was definitely well done, well executed. So glad we at least got this figure replaced. Okay, so here's a First Appearance Iron Man from Toy Biz, which the faceplate never stays. So I went and take it off real quick. Got me a twist tie. Burned off the front part of the stuff on there and just fit it to where it kind of just right over, almost invisible on him, so that his mask stays on. And that was how he was for many years. Yeah, he's still in one piece. That's cool. I'm happy that he's still together. But yeah, I'd like to see a new version of this too. I don't know why. I've never loved this, but it is, I guess it has its importance, you know, in the origins of Iron Man. So plus it'll fit in his armory. So yeah, let's get a new one of these. We're talking about Iron Man now, I guess. So, well, fuck. Of course, they're always missing pieces and shit. Give me that. I guess first I'll start with this hunk of shit plastic right here, which came in our first Guardians of the Galaxy wave with the group Build-A-Figure. And this was just shit right here. Didn't never care for it. Never really. If he was ever on the shelf, he was just an extra, like for Iron Man Armory or something. Now this Iron Man I really did love. This was my favorite Iron Man for the longest time, and they reused it for that hunk of shit. But Yeah, this one's pretty dope. So, I'd like to see a new attempt on that one. And then there's this really crappy Iron Man, which I'm glad they redid this more so in like the retro card style. Even though this is actually, this was newer, I think, because this went to the Ironmonger Build-A-Figure wave. Yeah, it was just crappy. He did have an alternate head. He does have an alternate head somewhere. But I just figured that look was a little more definitive for that version. We got this dude, which was, this one right here rocked my shelves. This was my Iron Man right here, actually, until we got our new 80-year version of Iron Man, and because this one was actually pretty cool. I thought he was decent. Yeah. So no longer on my shelf. Oh, here's Iron Man related shit. Got this fucking War Machine. I got this loose somewhere just the way it is, so no weapons or anything, no mask. So yeah, this was one of my not proudest moments, but I was happy because I found this thing at a fucking yard sale somewhere for like $1 or so. Yeah, I couldn't say no to it, but I haven't replaced it yet, and I'm excited. We'll be excited about getting a new comic book version of War Machine to add to our shelves. That'd be great. Alright, so let's get these bastards out the way. We'll talk about this hunk of crap real quick. This was like the Brood wave, early Hasbro Vision, and it is really crappy. Really crappy. So, the best ones now of Vision, in my opinion, is the retro-carded classic version of Vision. So, yeah. But this is a classic version of Vision, but yeah. He's not riding my shelf anymore. He did for a long time, though. There's Vision. Let's go with the Black Panther. This was one of the Walmart exclusive Black Panthers, which these Black Panthers pissed me off the most because I really liked them when they came out. But almost immediately, oh shit, before I get into that, I missed one. An Iron Man. This is actually a decent one because it was like the modern Iron Man, but this also needs to be upgraded too. Yeah. They reused this for the Iron Patriot back in the day. Yeah. So, like I was saying about this Black Panther, though, and this Black Panther, this one was definitely my favorite version of it. So we got these. Super stoked about them. Okay, and almost immediately after this, Black Panther movie hit, and we got that fucking Vibranium Black Panther, which was totally different, used on a different buck, a little bit bigger, better. And then we got the retro, we got like this version basically with the retro carded Black Panther. So these two characters were made obsolete almost immediately after being released. So I just thought, what a fucking waste, you know? Yeah. And they're good Black Panthers, man. It just sucks. They didn't get to stay long. Fuck, let me talk about these real quick, because, man, they're something else. So, these are old Ghost Rider Rider's Waves. Now, this bike's seen better days. The front clip broke. But, I mean, it wedges back in there, so it's not a total loss. And then the figures that came with them, and this one looks cooler. But there's the articulation, man. This is a lot like that first appearance of Spider-Man where And then that Human Torch and everything, where the hips just don't want to go down flush, hard to stand. But you know, he goes with this bike here. Yeah, right. Okay, so he stood. And then we got this one right here, which they reused this buck to make like the cannonball and shit back in the day with the X-Men. And this wasn't bad. Skinny looking, wasn't very menacing looking, but it was still a cool Ghost Rider. This one was my definitive Ghost Rider for the longest time. I did like this a lot. I did talk about that other Ghost Rider, this fucker here. But of course, Hasbro, this is why we got pissed off at him. I mean, how many Ghost Riders did we get? We got at least a couple of them from Hasbro with no bike. Before they're like, okay, what are we doing? These guys are Ghost Rider, no bike? What the fuck? They're getting pissed. So, yeah. Anyhow. Yeah, we great bikes, but I mean, our new Ghost Rider, now our Cosmic Ghost Rider, I mean, whew, got some Ghost Riders. They're pretty awesome. Alright, so let's just throw this guy out here real quick. We got Century, which, actually, this was like my favorite Toy Biz figure for the longest time. This one, and I never did get the short-haired version, but I think I prefer the short-haired version better than this. But what really made me, this figure right here gave me an idea one day, and I ended up customizing one, and it's over there somewhere, like, but it's on display. But I used this and did a repaint of it to make like the bearded version of Magneto from the old X-Men TV show. What was it, the Phalanx Covenant, when the X-Men went to find Magneto when he was in retreat to get them to help, and he didn't have the helmet on, he had the longer hair and a beard. Yeah, so it was a cool custom. But yeah, this Century, it was pretty awesome. Yeah, like I said, I would prefer to have the other one, but then of course we finally got ours, a new Hasbro upgrade. This is a cool ass Loki. I was kind of sorry to see this guy go, and he just recently got bumped off my shelf with the classic Loki, which isn't even really that great of a figure. But this, for being early Return of Marvel Legends styling, this was a really good Loki. I loved it. Super awesome. Yep, I like this Loki a lot. And I used the extra cape that came with the All-Father Build-A-Figure, and draped it. It was the blue cape, and draped it over this fucking Loki. And it just made it, like, it looked badass. Gave him a fucking staff. Yeah, he was cool. So, yeah, dressed him up a little bit, and he was really popping on my shelf. So I was sorry to see this Loki go. Love it. He's got to get some airtime again. Here we got one here. We got Baron Zemo, Toy Biz. This always had really, really fucking loose, flimsy, right out of the package. The articulation on this thing was fucked. And I mean, this was before I was even doing toy reviews, way before. I mean, considering I've only been doing toy reviews almost a year now, and I've been collecting for, well, heavy since 2007. So, y'all. It's too bad about this guy. He can't even keep his fucking head up, man. Look at that shitty right there. We do have new versions of him, and it's more of a modern style. I'd like to see Hasbro do some classics, maybe retro card this bad boy, and give us a new Baron Zemo. So, that'd be awesome. Oh, hell, who else do we have in here? Here's a fucking Doctor Strange, which was also almost it was one of those figures that was immediately replaced by another version of it, and with the cape and everything. which was damn near the only difference of this figure that really jumps out, man. But this was a pretty good Doctor Strange figure, I thought. But he didn't come with the eye, and he didn't have the cape of levitation, so I was like, what the fuck? Yeah, if they would have redone it with his gloves being at least yellow or something, that would have been cool. But I don't know. No real complaints on this Doctor Strange. It's alright. But yeah, he's been stored. Not coming out of storage for a while. I think, like, back when this Doctor Strange came out, the way the waves were established, like, they were all over the place. They never really made any sense. Like, Doctor Strange would have came with, like, an X-Men character or some fucking weird shit. You know? I don't know. Here's a fucking Hydra soldier. The early, like, this was like fucking the Brood wave. This was like, I never army built with it. It was too much of a piece of shit to army build, but it did have that, like, it would be like first appearance style compared to our modern stuff. So, posting this up with the first appearance Captain America and Bucky kind of does look pretty cool. So, yeah. I kept him around. It'd be nice now even to at least have a couple more of these, but I think people were army building with them and they were hard to get. This was one of them I kind of liked, but man, he was so fucking, because of this piece, these pieces here, it was really hard to get this fucker to stand and get a good stance on him. But I mean, he was kind of a cool looking figure, and he was one of those that really looked like his comic book, you know, portrayal. So, I mean, I thought it was pretty cool. Wonder Man. Our new one, I don't know. I still have mixed feelings about it. Like, he just doesn't feel right to me. But yeah, Wonder Man. Oh, what do we got here? Yellow Jacket. I'm almost done, ladies and gentlemen. I'm getting to the bottom of it. But yeah, we've got the Yellow Jacket. He was a part of the Blob wave, I think, or maybe the Brood wave. And look at the buck on it. I mean, this was one of those really shitty bucks that our Quicksilver was on, and it was like a retooled version, a reused version of the Bullseye figure, which I'll bring him out here real soon, from Toy Biz, but just wasn't delivered right. It's just this, they're not the same at all. They did something wrong with the engineering of this, and it's just crappy. But I would like to see Hasbro do this guy again. We do need this version of our Yellow Jacket. I think it'd be awesome to have a new version of it. But like I was talking, man, this is Bullseye here, the original Toy Biz Bullseye, and it's not. It stands better. His legs go all the way in. The feet are better. This was just way better, and for them they were trying to mock it. They screwed it up pretty bad. But this figure was so good that it held the hands of time for the longest time, that even when we got our newest Hasbro version of this guy, people were really struggling to let go of this guy and put him away and replace him with a new version, which really grew on me. I really love that figure. I do. It's a great figure, man. The unmasked version and stuff. But this will still always be, it was kind of like our Bucky Cap mold for the Toy Biz days, that a lot of good could have came out of it, but Hasbro, whatever they did to this, somehow their translation just, yeah, so that's whatever. Here's one that was crappy as fuck too. And the same thing with this buck. It was just one of those really crappy bucks. The Vision was on this that we saw earlier. This is our Claw. And, I mean, I was just happy that we had a Claw. So, you know, I didn't even think they were ever going to do this figure again. And Yeah, right at the end of the Toys R Us days, we had that 2-pack with him and Shuri 2-pack, and that was a good claw. So this is pretty much now junk. Always was junk, but now it's like really junk. Damn, what can I get into now? I guess I'll talk about this piece of shit. This was one of those that came with, it was like a Spider-Man Origins 2 Hasbro shit, and it's this Green Goblin, and it was the only Green Goblin I had for until we got our most recent Green Goblin even, which is sad. But this was a really shitty Green Goblin, man. He's just kind of, he's really small. There was some good points to it, like it did have a good head sculpt and everything, but that's about all it had going for it. The articulation on it's crap. So the I don't know. Yeah, let's just not talk about this guy anymore. Okay, it was shit. This was one of my all-time favorites, and I still have his buddy displayed. Old Howard the Duck that came with him, but this Silver Surfer here was our Toy Biz Silver Surfer, where we had the magnets in the feet. So this was really cool, and it took that new Walgreens exclusive Silver Surfer to bump this boy off the shelf, being he was the only one I had. But I know Hasbro did do like a redo of this, and I never did get it. I was happy as hell to get this, and I got him loose too. Same with Howard the Duck. So the only thing he didn't come with was the stand that this mounts onto. So either way, really good Silver Surfer. Sorry to see this old Toy Biz go, but man, what talk about some loose joints, man. That was really common with those Toy Biz type figs. Here's another one that I didn't think was going to be replaced, and we just got a really awesome version of him not too long ago, like last year or something. It is the Black Knight. Don't know whatever happened to the shield that came with this, because I did have the shield, because I do think this was Brood Build-A-Figure wave. So it was awesome, man. Not the greatest figure in the world, but it was cool, man. He was the only also the only Black Knight we had for a long fucking time, about 10 years or more. So cool. Say bye bye to him. He's no longer on the shelf. Then this guy, the original Toy Biz Hank Pym Ant-Man here, that came with a removable mask, a removable helmet. Yeah, dang, it's on there pretty good. Yeah, remember this guy a long time ago? So yeah, pretty cool. I've actually got quite a bit. Like I said, Toy Biz wasn't even making Marvel80s anymore when I started collecting, so all the Toy Biz figures, which I got quite a few, were all bought, you know, on second hand, you know, whatever, whether it was at some comic book shop or thrift store or through trade or bought on eBay or whatever. So then we got this Kraven, which I think I got this guy loose. I'm pretty sure I did, because I don't, yeah, he didn't come with any of his weapons or nothing. And my niece always, when she seen this guy, she always said he looked like a French prostitute. I can see where she sees that. So, but yeah, this guy was crap. He quickly got replaced, and this isn't even the original version of Kraven is still on my shelf. This was the one that came in the the Black Suit of Spider-Man 2-pack, which is actually a classic kind of version of him, which I really like it, but he never made it on the shelf, man, because the one before this, the modern version, I just really like it. So he stayed on my shelf. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here, man. Let's do Punisher. So, I mean, I'm just going to pull out guns because they've all fallen in here. Might as well just pull out all the weapons and stuff. Because we've seen Thor. There's his sword. Got some weapons here. We got a gat. Another gat. This was Thor's. The bearded Thor. That's his axe. Oh. This chain goes to one of the riders. Wave's Ghost Rider. It's over there. Hydra Soldier gun. Another Hydra Soldier gun. Thor's hammer. The bearded dude with this axe. And so Punisher. This was Return of Marvel Legends Punisher. This one was really cool. This was my favorite Punisher until we started getting our new versions. So, really, really good one there. Just had issues. This was, and this is, there was variants of this. This is basically the Punisher that they just recently redone last year with our like camouflaged and the face painted Punisher. And then this was kind of our classic Punisher, but these are both the same figs, just repaints. I think that was like the Brood Queen wave as well. So we got these Punishers, and these two are definitely crap, but you know, they all stood their time on the shelves at one point in time along the way. Toy Biz style Iron Fist here. Which I think there was a red version of this too, which I never would have got it. I didn't like that version, but this one was cool. So, no longer seeing shelf life, because the new one is really boss compared to this. Then we got this new one, which was again one of those deals where it got replaced because they used a better buck. And really used a better buck, because this goes back to that horse shit that I showed you earlier that was on the Yellow Jacket. The Yellow Jacket, and who else did I bring out earlier? Yeah, I brought him up. It's that stupid fucking Quicksilver that we had. But yeah, this and that's crazy because this was later on, man. This was when Action Figures Hasbro was starting to do really good, and they gave us this guy, and he came with like tons of fucking hands and shit. But then almost not even a year or so after this figure, we ended up getting the newer version of it. So yeah, this guy, I don't know. Do we need another white costume? But man, see how these hips are shit on here? They are fucking garbage. Like, I hate this buck so bad. Like, But this replaced my Toy Biz Iron Fist at first. So, I mean, at least had that going for it. But otherwise, this is junk right here. It's one of those junk bucks. Fuck it. Now that brings us to, we had our Walgreens exclusive first appearance Daredevil here, which I liked. It was cool, but he wouldn't have still been my definitive Daredevil. But I do like that I liked how they chose the Bucky Cap Buck for this. Back when this Bucky Cap mold was the revolutionized Bucks in Marvel Legends. So yeah, I mean, it's cool. I like my first appearance stuff. I mean, it will go good making a shelf of these. But quickly after this guy was released, we got this Daredevil. but I'm almost done. Give me a second. Which is our, complete classic version of it. But then they gave us that one, that, just like last year, where he's in the black with the wraps and stuff and the new boots and everything. Come on, man. Go back now and redo this Daredevil on that buck with that tooling. I want to see this one done again. Because really, this would be my definitive Daredevil in the spot, because he's so classic looking here. But this dude came with an unmasked head, which I went and I did this. Made me a Matt Murdock by day lawyer style fig. So really like to get this guy on the shelf again somewhere. And that does it, man. That's all the action figures I had in that tote. Sorry, this is an hour-long video, man. You guys probably had something better stuff to do with your time, but eventually I'll go through like my X-Men stuff and cinematic shit that I have, because they're all in different totes and stuff. We'll just make a video of it. So hope you guys check that out. Hope you guys like this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. And as always, it's your boy MasterMarvel80 here. Thanks for checking me out. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.